Under the relentless veil of war, where shadows and silence intertwined, a group known as the Shadow Medics operated beyond the reach of recognition or honor. Their existence was a secret, whispered only among those who understood the cost of survival. Captain Elena Markov led this fearless cadre, a woman forged in the crucible of conflict, whose resolve was as unyielding as the scars marking the lands she traversed. In the thick darkness of no man's land, through twisted forests and shattered villages, Elena and her team moved with a singular purpose: to snatch lives from the jaws of death. Every mission was a calculated risk, a delicate balance between the merciless advance of enemy forces and the fragile hope of those clinging to life. They navigated treacherous terrain strewn with mines, evaded patrols, and improvised their medical tents in abandoned ruins, transforming devastation into sanctuaries of fragile healing. Their supplies were scant, their tools rudimentary, yet their skill was unmatched. The air was thick with fear and desperation, but also with unspoken determination. They were the unseen lifeline for countless soldiers and civilians alike, operating without expectation of glory or thanks. In hidden diaries, carefully concealed beneath layers of dirt and fabric, Elena chronicled not only wounds and treatments, but the piercing human stories behind each rescue. The trembling hands clutching a lifeline, the whispered prayers, and the fleeting smiles of survival. Amidst the chaos, these medics embodied humanity's quiet defiance, their courage etched into the very soil they traversed. Theirs was a war waged in silence, a battle for life fought in the shadows of destruction, where every heartbeat saved was a victory against oblivion. Navigating enemy territory demanded not only courage, but unshakable precision. Elena's team moved like phantoms through shattered towns and dense woods, always alert to the slightest hint of danger. Their paths were dictated by the desperate cries of the wounded and the faintest signs of life amidst ruins. Every step was laden with peril, from booby traps concealed beneath rubble to sudden skirmishes erupting without warning. The medics carried only essential supplies, relying on ingenuity to stretch every bandage and drop of antiseptic. Nights were spent under starless skies, their makeshift camps a fragile oasis amid destruction, where whispered plans and hushed prayers intertwined. The emotional toll was profound. Elena's diary revealed moments of grief when aid arrived too late, yet also the fierce resolve that propelled them forward. Bonds forged in fire became their strength. Soldiers who became brothers and sisters not through blood but shared sacrifice. They healed wounds both visible and invisible, comforting the broken and reminding them that hope could endure even in the darkest hour. Their impact rippled silently through the front lines, saving thousands whose names would never grace any history books. Yet, the greatest battle lay within, the struggle to maintain humanity amid relentless violence, to hold fast to compassion when surrounded by chaos. Elena's words painted a portrait of resilience and grace, a testament to those who carry the weight of the world in silence, fighting not with guns, but with healing hands and unwavering hearts. The line between life and death was razor thin, a daily reality etched into every decision the Shadow Medics made. Elena's unit faced agonizing choices: who could be saved with limited resources, who needed evacuation, and when to press on despite overwhelming odds. The battlefield was no place for hesitation, yet compassion never wavered. In cramped, improvised shelters, the medics worked tirelessly, stitching wounds with trembling hands, administering pain relief with what little they had, and offering words of comfort amid the cacophony of suffering. The sounds of distant artillery blended with whispered prayers and the steady rhythm of hurried breaths. Time was both an enemy and an ally, dictating the pace of their life-saving efforts. Elena often recorded these moments with stark honesty. Stories of children caught in crossfire, of soldiers refusing to surrender hope, of the quiet dignity in final goodbyes. Yet beyond the physical injuries, the psychological scars weighed heavily. The medics became counselors, friends, and sometimes the last connection to humanity for those teetering on the edge. They bore witness to acts of profound bravery and heartbreaking loss, each experience leaving an indelible mark on their souls. Despite the darkness, the medics found fleeting moments of light. A smile from a patient, a successful surgery against all odds, or the rare camaraderie that reminded them why their mission mattered. Theirs was a sacred duty, a quiet rebellion against the devastation, a promise that even in war's shadow, life's fragile flame could be nurtured. The burden of their mission pressed heavier with each passing day. Yet Elena and her team pressed forward with unwavering resolve. The landscape of war was merciless, a labyrinth of shattered dreams and fragmented lives, and the Shadow Medics were its silent lifeline. They operated in constant danger, knowing that one wrong step could mean death, but their commitment to saving others transcended fear. Elena's leadership was both fierce and compassionate. She balanced the harsh necessities of survival with a profound empathy that inspired her team to persevere. Their medical tents were often set up in abandoned buildings, caves, or even underground bunkers, places where the faintest hope could take root. The medics faced endless challenges. Scarce supplies forced them to innovate, turning scavenged materials into makeshift medical tools. Sterility was a luxury they could seldom afford, and infection was a constant threat. Yet the medics' skill and determination turned desperation into salvation time and time again. Elena's diary became a testament to these efforts, a chronicle of pain, resilience, and fleeting triumphs. Beyond the physical wounds, the psychological toll was immense. The team counseled soldiers haunted by memories, tended to those grappling with despair, and sometimes bore the unbearable task of comforting those facing their final moments. Bonds forged in such crucibles were unbreakable, woven through shared hardship and collective hope. In quiet moments between missions, Elena reflected on the paradox of their existence, the devastating reality of war juxtaposed against the miracles they wrought daily. Their impact, though unseen by the world, was profound. Each life saved was a beacon of light in a sea of darkness. Their story was one of unsung heroism, a silent chorus of healing that defied the relentless march of destruction. Despite the relentless danger and scarcity, the Shadow Medics never faltered in their mission. Elena's team became adept at navigating the fragile line between life and death, often improvising life-saving procedures with the barest essentials. Their days blurred into nights, punctuated by the sounds of distant gunfire and the cries of the wounded. Each new patient brought a fresh challenge, pushing their skills and resolve to the limit. In Elena's diary, the emotional weight of these encounters was laid bare. Stories of resilience amid despair, of fleeting moments of joy when a patient's pulse steadied, and the crushing grief when death claimed those they fought so hard to save. The team's unity was their greatest strength. They shared not only medical duties, but also the burden of trauma, offering each other solace in whispered conversations beneath the stars. These bonds forged an unbreakable chain of trust and hope. Elena's leadership was marked by an unyielding dedication to both the mission and her people, inspiring acts of courage that transcended fear and exhaustion. Through it all, the medics held fast to a singular belief that every life saved was a victory against the ravages of war, a testament to humanity's enduring spirit. Their sacrifices, though hidden in the shadows, echoed loudly in the lives they touched, weaving a legacy of compassion and courage that would outlast the conflict itself. As the long, grueling war finally showed signs of fading, the Shadow Medics stood at a poignant crossroads, a place where exhaustion met hope, where the silence of survival blended with the yearning for peace. Their tireless efforts had saved thousands, yet the emotional scars they carried were as deep as the trenches they once navigated. Elena's diary, a sacred repository of memories, bared the full spectrum of their journey. The bitter losses, the fleeting victories, and the unwavering resolve that bound them together through unimaginable hardship. The transition from the chaos of conflict to the fragile calm of peace was neither swift nor simple. The medics, once shadows among smoke and gunfire, now found themselves grappling with a new battlefield, the process of healing their own minds and hearts. Elena chronicled countless sleepless nights, haunted by faces of those they couldn't save, the weight of survivors' guilt pressing relentlessly. Yet within these struggles lay resilience, a testament to the human capacity to endure, to rebuild, and to find light after darkness. In communities scarred by war, the medics became more than healers. They were pillars of restoration, working tirelessly to bridge divides and mend the fractured social fabric. Elena's leadership evolved into advocacy as she championed the recognition of those who served unseen, fighting to ensure their sacrifices would never be forgotten. She spoke at gatherings, sharing the profound lessons of compassion born in the crucible of war, urging societies to remember that true heroism often walks quietly, far from the spotlight. Their legacy grew beyond the battlefield, inspiring future generations to value empathy, courage, and service. Elena's final diary entries spoke of hope. Hope for a world where healing replaces violence, where the quiet acts of mercy are celebrated, and where every life saved is a victory for humanity. As she closed her diary, Elena penned a heartfelt vow. Though we walked in shadows, our light endures. The battles we fought were not only against enemies, but against despair. Let our story remind all that in the darkest hours, compassion and courage shine brightest. May those who come after us carry this flame forward, nurturing peace and healing for all. The story of the Shadow Medics, once hidden in silence, now stood as a powerful testament, a beacon illuminating the enduring strength of the human spirit and the profound impact of silent courage.